Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Boxing New.
Joe Joyce sends Joseph Parker straight to hell, and look, let's break it down honestly and objectively as possible. And Joe Joyce came out and put a foot all the way in Joseph Parker's ass. Joe Joyce sent a statement to the heavyweight division that he's not to be played with. I mean, this guy showed power. He showed a jab. He showed a chin. He literally showed a motor and everything that you want to see in a heavyweight. The only knock against Joe Joyce is the fact that he's so damn slow. Other than that, Joe Joyce is a monster. He's a beast, and he's a problem for anyone in the heavyweight division. I mean, this is a Joseph Parker who's never been stopped. He's fought Dillian White. He's fought Anthony Joshua. He's fought Andy Ruiz. He's fought a lot of different styles, and he's never been stopped before. He's always been known as having a granite chin, and Joe Joyce literally broke that chin in half. I mean, this man sent an enormous statement to the heavyweight division. A lot of people believe the extra weight that Joseph Parker put on was really bad for this fight because he was spending too much time slugging it out with Joe Joyce. That was a weird game plan. I don't know why you would do that against a guy who's big and strong as Joe Joyce. That makes zero sense. I mean, you hear a lot of people talking about Joseph Parker's chin being great. Let's talk about Joe Joyce's chin being great, because that's a problem. Who's beating Joe Joyce with a chin and power like that? Miss Spicy. Who beats Joe Joyce with chin and a power like that? Is Deontay Wilder, Usyk, Anthony Joshua,
Hell no.
Andy Ruiz?
Hell no.
Who can beat a Joe Joyce like that?
I don't think anybody can. Like, you saw that fight today. That was incredible. It's one of the best fights that I've seen all year. And yes, absolutely, Joe Parker came in there with the wrong game plan. You put on that weight, but for what? It didn't do anything, and he just kept coming. And by just keep coming, that's Joe Joyce. He was not letting go, and it's like every round after round, he was actually stronger and more stronger than ever until the very end. Because at the end, I'm like, well, he's not going to knock him out. And then 11th round comes around, and what do you know?
He's a very determined fighter. He's relentless. He's aggressive. And here's the interesting thing. Joe Joyce has literally been improving. I mean, this guy broke Daniel Dubois' face. He broke down Joseph Parker and sent him to hell. I mean, the guy is a monster, a beast. How do you see him against Deontay Wilder? What do you see with Joe Joyce and Deontay Wilder?
I don't think that right hand's going to be a problem whatsoever. I think he's going to continue coming, and really it's going to be at what round does Deontay Wilder go down.
I think that's a very interesting fight, because if Wilder can't knock out Joe Joyce, he's getting sent straight to hell.
He sure is.
What about, a potential Anthony Joshua Joe Joyce fight?
No. I do not want to see that. I think, and again, it's because I'm an AJ fan. I don't want to see that. I don't think AJ's ready for that. If it's not anything that you can say that AJ's he just needs to box. How's he going to box if he doesn't have the stamina?
Look, I like Anthony Joshua, but I'm going to tell you this. If Joe Joyce lands and is coming for it relentlessly, AJ's getting sent straight to hell. Mm-hmm. I think Usyk and Fury are huge challenges for Joe Joyce, simply because these guys have a lot of defense. They have a lot of movement. And these guys have the ability to adapt and adjust in a lot of different ways. When you look at Oslander Usyk, he fought, Joe Joyce before they became professional fighters in the 2013 World Series of Boxing, I believe it was. And so when they fought, even Usyk at that time said this was one of his toughest opponents. Although he did beat Joe Joyce back then, none of that matters because they're not the same fighters they are today. Joe Joyce is much bigger, much more experienced. The guy was small. He had only been boxing a couple of years. So I take nothing away from that fight to include in any potential fight. You see that Joe Joyce and his team are calling out Usyk. They say they're the mandatory. They want to activate that, and they want that fight as soon as possible. How do you see that fight happening? Usyk, Joe Joyce in the heavyweight division.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, and here's how, people can say, I definitely agree, Joe Joyce is slow, right? I saw that from the Danny Dubois fight, and I'm just like, I don't know about him, but this fight absolutely has just changed my mind. But yes, he's slow, and the other person can see his punches coming a mile away. But make no mistake, that's not a deterrence at all. Like, he's gonna continue coming, and everybody slows down. So Usyk can slow down, and when he slows down, one of those shots can send him straight to hell as well.
So you think he can beat Usyk, or you think it's a close fight?
I think it would be a close fight, but that power.
What about Fury?
That relentless power? Well, I don't think Fury wants any of that. Did you even see him come near him? He stood over there. He didn't even want to talk to him.
I think those are his most difficult fights. I think the hardest fight is Tyson Fury. In my opinion, I think Tyson Fury stylistically, with his speed, his head movement, I think he's the best heavyweight in the division right now. But I think Joe Joyce is an absolute monster and a problem.
Absolutely.
What do you think about Andy Ruiz? Does Andy Ruiz have a chance against a guy like Joe Joyce? Can he overcome that and beat him?
Hell no. Andy Ruiz doesn't even move his feet. He's just going to be there stuck like quicksand. And then before you know it, he may be knocked out in the third round.
Wow. and there you have it, the IBFP, Miss Spicy Boxing, breaking it down. Joe Joyce and Joseph Parker straight to hell. What a fight. Because men lie, women lie, but the facts
don't lie.